Although a jury ruled in Johnny Depp's favor in his defamation case against ex-wife Amber Heard, the legal drama is far from done. One question still lingers: will Amber Heard appeal the court's decision? After all, her net worth declared as of 2022 is $8 million, still a few million short of what she has to pay. Heard's lawyers have stated that she will file an appeal, which will most likely take years. Time spoke with experts about the next steps in the case, Heard's chances of winning an appeal, and how far this legal battle might go. Amber Heard will absolutely appeal the verdict reached in her battle against ex-husband Johnny Depp, her attorney announced. But how will this go down for her? That's what we're going to find out and more in today's video. But before any of that, make sure that you subscribe to our channel and you smash that notification bell for more updates on this. Now, let's dive in. After a jury awarded $15 million in damages to Depp and $2 million in damages to Heard, Judge Penney Azcarate reduced Depp's total to about $10.4 million, per Virginia's statutory cap. Elaine Bredehoft, who represented him in the trial in Fairfax, Virginia, told NBC's Today Show that her client has excellent grounds for an appeal. "We even tried to get the UK judgment to dismiss his case because he already had his shot. That's one of the issues. But also, there was so much evidence that did not come in," Bredehoft told Today anchor Savannah Guthrie. The trial, which was live-streamed on Court TV and other platforms for several weeks, sparked a social media firestorm. In general, there was a groundswell of public support for Depp, whose adoring admirers gathered outside the courthouse to cheer him on, and an outpouring of hate directed towards Heard. In an interview with Today, Bredehoft thought that the jury's verdict was influenced by pro-Depp, anti-Heard debate. She went on to say that because of the sensitive nature of the case, she was against cameras in the courtroom, and that the choice to broadcast the trial turned it into a zoo. Heard was demonized here, Bredehoft said. "A number of things were allowed in this court that should not have been allowed. It has caused the jury to be confused. The jury went home every night. They have families. The families are on social media," Bredehoft continued. "We had a 10-day break in the middle because of the judicial conference. There's no way they couldn't have been influenced by it. And it was horrible. It really was lopsided." When asked if Heard would be able to pay $10.4 million in damages, Bredehoft responded, "Absolutely not." According to a recent poll of hundreds of American adults, the majority of respondents want to keep seeing Depp in movies, but believe Heard should be dropped from future projects, implying that Heard's career may suffer as a result of the trial. According to Bredehoft, the trial conclusion sends a terrible message that might be catastrophic to victims of domestic maltreatment. "Unless you pull out your phone and you record your spouse or your significant other hurting you, effectively, you won't be believed," Bredehoft said. In the United States, both Heard and Depp received awards from the jury. They determined that Heard defamed Depp with malicious intent and awarded Depp $10 million in compensation and $5 million in punitive damages. The punitive damages were ultimately reduced to the Virginia statutory cap of $350,000 by Judge Penney Azcarate. On her countersuit, however, the jury awarded her $2 million in compensatory damages. Many people are perplexed by the ruling because paying damages to Depp would imply that they believed the Pirates of the Caribbean star when he stated Heard lied about the attack she claimed. But providing money to Heard would imply they believed her claims of maltreatment were not a hoax. Legal experts disagree about what Heard's team will or should do if the case is appealed. Depp's story appeared to be more credible to the jury than Heard's. Experts also agreed that appeal courts are hesitant to revisit jury credibility decisions, even if the jury's conclusion appeared to be contradictory. "Anyone appealing faces an uphill struggle," says Rebecca Sullivan, a family law attorney in Washington, D.C. Most likely, according to the lawyers who spoke to Time, Heard's team will claim that a legal error was made during the trial and that the jury was swayed by what they saw and heard outside the courtroom, and that the decision will be overturned. Whatever Heard's team decides, An appeals court won't hand down a ruling anytime soon. It's a long, expensive process, says David Ring, a Los Angeles civil trial lawyer. He and other experts estimated the appeal would take 2 years minimum. Several attorneys who spoke with Time speculated it will cost Heard hundreds of thousands of dollars in addition to the likely millions she's already spent in legal fees. But when you're facing a $15 million judgment, says Ring, you certainly have to probably pursue that. Experts predict that before the appeals process can begin, Heard, on her insurance company, will be required to post a bond demonstrating that she has or can raise the money she owes Depp. Heard's ability to post the bond is not certain, given that she and her counsel have stated that the trial has been a financial strain for her. Even yet, if she goes on, her legal team will have a better chance in an appeals court than the jury of 5 men and 2 women who awarded Depp damages. The trial was broadcast live on television. Jurors were not sequestered, and videos and memes of Depp and her testifying, as well as overwhelmingly pro-Depp criticism, were unavoidable on social media platforms such as TikTok. I would expect the appellate portion of the case, where the audience is judges, to focus more on legal arguments, and a lot less on the theatrics that we saw in the trial where the audience was a jury, says Sullivan. There would be no cameras and no choice for Heard's evidence to be torn apart, altered, and misinterpreted on social media during the appeal. The matter would be decided largely by looking through documents produced by attorneys for both sides before the Virginia Court of Appeals. Depending on the outcome, the case could be appealed to the Virginia Supreme Court, which has the authority to accept or reject the case, and then to the United States Supreme Court, which also has that authority. According to analysis, Heard's camp could raise a variety of points. Elaine Bredehoft, her attorney, made comments after the trial that seem to imply that she will concentrate on the evidence. She has indicated that some of the evidence Depp was able to present was prejudicial, while Heard's team's evidence was suppressed at trial, including evidence that was allowed in the UK but not in the US. This trial judge let in a lot of evidence in this case. I mean a lot, says Ring. I think things went kind of far afield from what the real issues were, so that's the basis for an appeal. Though not necessarily a great basis for appeal, he adds that evidentiary rulings are rarely the basis used by an appellate court to overturn a jury's verdict. Mary Ann Franks, a professor at the University of Miami School of Law who focuses on civil rights, says that Heard's team might challenge the jury's decision to allow the trial to be live-streamed, a particularly unusual decision given that the case involved allegations of physical mistreatment and domestic harm, as well as the judge's decision not to sequester the jury, which resulted in a trial by social media. Since Amber Heard is sentenced to pay a huge amount, many citizens' question is, can she pay that? Even by celebrity standards, $10 million is a massive sum of money. And with Amber Heard found guilty on all 3 accounts of defamation, the Virginia jury ultimately ruled that Johnny Depp will be given a huge payout. It appears that Johnny Depp and his lawyers will make the final decision on whether or not to pursue Amber Heard for the $10 million. It's possible that her home may be seized. Alternatively, the clubs might strike a new deal, with the money going to Heard in exchange for his quiet on specific matters and the appeal being dropped. While their time in court might have come to an end, clearly there's more to the legal saga shared with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Her team previously confirmed their intention of appealing the court's decision, but perhaps a deal regarding the money could change this decision. Only time will tell. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and smash that notification bell for more episodes.